Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a review for King Arts, and particularly we have the Iron Man Mark 43, which is part of their One Night diecast figure series. Really cool. I just want to show this is the shipper box that it comes with, and I got mine from Big Bad Toy Store, and this is my first King Arts, and in preparation for Hulkbuster. Yep. And there's not much into this. There we go. And this is the actual box. It actually looks better in person as opposed to with the camera, and sometimes you get the glare. You don't really see much, but here we go. It's a nice picture in front. Onto the sides, it's Avenger. On the back, some warning information. Not sure if you get this. You can see that, but it's there. Seems like some Marvel sticker here. Interesting. A lot of QR codes too on the bottom there. Interesting. And let's see, is there anything on the bottom? Nothing on the bottom, and on the top just says Mark 43. Alright, so let's do a quick unboxing on this. Well, I'm not sure how quick it will be, but some kind of unboxing. So this slides up, and it is a foam inside. Kind of reminds me of Hot Toys or other diecast high-end figures. We have the instruction booklet here. We got the foam. I actually opened this already, so I had to repackage it. There's some plastic here, and let's just quickly go over this. Hopefully it does not go over. There we go. So we have quite a bit of hands. We got Iron Man there, and some stuff on the bottom here as well. I'm not sure what is in here. When I opened it, it was empty. I don't think, yeah, I'm not too sure. I have to check my instructions. But there are some stuff underneath here, which it has the rockets for the forearm. And there's a pair, there's another one there. Yeah, I might have to double check what's in there. Alright, going over the parts list, I did check. I do have most of this, so I don't have anything missing. And instructions, one thing that is kind of interesting on this one, it does have a battery helper, and there's 2 sets of them. And you get some forceps, and it has this toolbar here to pry out the panels. Kind of interesting. Alright, so I'm starting to think whether I should go over where to put the LEDs. I think some of you might be curious on that one. I'll probably do that now, or maybe add it towards later on this review. But here we go. We have Iron Man Mark 43. It looks great. Yep, from afar it kind of looks like Hot Toys, but not quite. This stands about 9" with a 1/9 scale, just roughly 9". Yep. But this is in between a Hot Toys and Figure Arts. And let me bring the other two. Alright, and just to put things into perspective, it's actually kind of hard to put everything in the camera here, but as you can see, it is in between. So we have the Figure Arts right here, we got the Hot Toys, and the King Arts is somewhere in between. Yep. Alright, let's go over the articulation. And it's actually quite interesting for this one. So we have the neck here. Can move side to side, look down, look up. And not so much for looking up. So when he's in flight mode, he can't really bend this neck here. I don't think we can. Yep. Towards the shoulder, you have this spring loaded. And actually you can see the spring right there. It's a bit odd for me seeing exposed spring. Usually they're kind of hidden, but it doesn't really bother me as much as most of the time it's gonna be. We're not gonna see seeing it from the top view, but that's interesting. And I think you can extend the joint there. Actually, you can't. It's able to clear this part here, though. I'm kind of concerned with that too. The chest armor. I thought you can. Nah, I think that's as much as I can twist that. You do have a bicep swivel here. And sorry about that. Hopefully you don't get to this part where you disassemble stuff and this stupid spring broke off trying to fix it. Yeah. Joy. Alright, so I managed to fix it after countless hours. Yeah, I might have to ask or see if I can ask for that spring. So if it does happen to you, well, it's on this particular shoulder. Now it's fine, although it does tend to do this now. Yeah, it's broken. Or specifically that particular spring. Yeah, do not pull this away. Leave it the way it is for what it's supposed to. But if it does happen, you can pop out this shoulder joint here. Right here, it's a bolt joint. And you can see this spring here. Basically what happened on mine is I've overstretched it, and actually I lose some of the coils here. Try to put it on. The less coils you have, the less tension you're gonna have. And you can try your best to get that tightened again. It's not gonna happen since it's not straight anymore, so you're gonna lose that. I tried using a different kind of spring. I don't have any that works on this one, so it is for what I have now, unfortunately. I kind of wish it was just a different way. Yeah, well, I just want to showcase that it is poppable. It's just a bowl joint. For the time being, let's put this back here. I mean, at least I still have that shoulder joint there, or the shoulder pad attached. Alright, continue on with the articulation. We do have a bicep swivel here, and now as you can see we have that shoulder bowl joint for the most part, with a bit of the hinge. This is gonna get rubbed off quite a bit, this corner here, just the way you move this around. Same thing with the back side, even though this is free floating. Yeah, why do they have the spring? Moving on, we have the elbow bend here, which is a little over probably 120 degrees. Not, well, actually 100. Let's go with 115. That's a good number. It's not quite 90, just a little over. It is nicely covered. You got this flat knee pad here, or not knee pad, shoulder pad, I mean. It's nice when it's straightforward, but it seems a little flat as you bend it. And then you have this wrist joint here, and you also have the hand guard, or the forearm guard. What do you call that? Yeah, it's just well, it's a wrist guard. Whatever it is attached on, I'm trying to figure it out. Let's pop this off. There we go. Okay, so there's get that thing focused there. The collar, the wrist collar right there. And there's also the lens here for the effect part, which we'll cover later on. Yep. So kind of like the Hot Toys. And that gimmick there. Put this back on. Now moving on, we have the torso. Now this is not going to be like Hot Toys. Kind of like your figure arts. There is not much of a up crunch here. There's a little bit gap here, and I already see a bit of paint scrapage. But this torso is a little different from here. You get a little bit of movement there, but not so much. Same thing on the back side. You see that gap there. I mean, for the most part, it is an armored suit. It's not going to be that flexible. So that's that. There's not going to be much here on the side that moves out. It's all molded together, the waist area. It does have that joint that you can pop down here, which gives you a little bit of clearance to move up the leg. And let's see here. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. This side doesn't want to do that for some weird reason. There we go. And now we can move this up. And just be careful of where it hits. There we go. The knee. Get some nice details there. This one seems to be a little flexible. Yep. So you're able to have them sit down actually with that clearance, but just be careful. Likewise on the back side here. Some nice details. I think one of the flaps, oh okay, so this flaps here, a little bit flexible. Same thing on the shin guard here. You have the toe joint, and you have the ankle, which is a combination of a ball joint and a hinge, I think, right there. So not much for a tilt there, but good enough. So articulation wise, not too bad. Kind of like your figure arts, just a little bit better, but not quite your Hot Toys. Because from what I recall, Hot Toys, there's a lot more shifting, and there's a gimmick on the waist and all that good stuff. But definitely, it's quite nice. Alright, we got the batteries here. I removed the forearm. I just replaced the one on the head, which was a big nightmare. Let's see. There we go. So there was a forearm that I removed the plate. Then you gotta unscrew this part on top, and we gotta put some batteries. Right, so we got two of these. One is for 2 batteries, the other one is 3. It's actually slightly magnetized from what it seems like. So we're just gonna put this on here. Actually, this one is not magnetized. No, for 3 does. Maybe I just need to magnetize it. Good thing to have magnets sometimes. Nope, it does not want to magnetize. I forgot what I said about that thing being magnetized. And getting out of this tray, it could be another nightmare. Be careful. Make sure you have a work area that when things falls down, it's not gonna be in your floor or anywhere else. So basically, the one on the bottom, or this one's the negative side, and the top one is on the positive side. And this is where they're gonna be the spring, or you want the spring to be here. That's why it's a little longer. Helps you to get in there. And here we go with springs again. I hate springs. Today, I'm not good with springs. You push it in there, and once all the way there, you push it in. Yep. So this one has that plunger thing, which works. Make sure it's all the way inside. Then now we turn this on. Oh, unfortunately, it's not the light up gimmick, but it is on, so that's good. Put this back on and continue on with the rest. Well, actually the last one's on the bottom. Moving along with the batteries, and we have the base here. It's kind of nice. I like it, although there's some kind of, I'm not sure why I have a little bit of scuff marks there, but it seems like it's the same, although we don't have it on the dots here. Interesting. Yet Marvel's Avengers Age of Ultron, nicely sculpted. We have a switch here, meaning we gotta put some batteries. I don't have a exact, I need to find more AAAs, but here's what I have so far. So you do need 3 AAAs, which is not included. They only have the batteries, which is not too bad. They're easy to find. And let me just put this back here, and I'll screw that in. But other than that, there's also a little hidden attachment here, and this is for the stand. So this one comes with 2 stand arms, or yeah, and we have the really long one, and this is for the flight pose, and this is when it's standing, a little shorter. For me, more than likely, I'll probably use the taller one, since we want to show the LED on the foot or the feet. And let's see here, we're just gonna mount this on top here. This one has some ratchets to it. There is a screw there, seems to let us tighten it if we want to. And we open this up. It's spring loaded, and it has some rubber, soft, yeah, it's basically just rubber inside to protect the figure. You always want that. To put this on the back side here, just adjust my camera. There we go. And we're just gonna turn this around. Hold on, ready? Oh, okay. Maybe it's the other way around. Okay, so we got more here on the top side. There we go. Not so much on the base, which is kind of odd. You would assume there's more in the base. And this is not turning. So much for this review. Well, it doesn't help that the excess that's fairly secure. Let's hope. Alright, so there we go. And before I put Iron Man there, I just want to quickly show the LED effect. Let's turn on the switch. There we go, it lights up. Turn up some lights. So here we go. Where's that switch? It lights up. It's quite nice. I like it. And probably brighter if I have fresh batteries, but there you go. Yeah, it's really bright. Well, if it's in the dark. Alright, we're almost there. We're gonna lit this up. So, before we get to that part, we have the closed fist. And we have the open hands for a repulsor blast. We have a pair of them. And you also have, so remove this on the plastic. Each of them are individually bagged. But here's the next one. So you get a pair of very articulated hands. And you can bend this. His fingers. You can move the thumb there. As well as the individual fingers. So you can do a lot of poses with this. I don't think he can hold his index and the thumb together. And they also have that clear plastic for the reactor on the hands, or wherever the repulsor blast comes out. So these are quite nice. So you do have this, and you can even use this to hold, if he ever holds something, suitcase, stick, a weapon, whatever. So you get a pair of that. And what else we got here? There's another one. Manual again. I'm removing this from the separate baggies. How much? It's one of those kind of afraid that they might actually stick on the plastic with the paint. And you have this other one, which is basically the fingers are a little bit, well, it's another repulsor blast. Also, although this one is not, Well, trying to see, because this one you have an angled wrist here, this one is not. So for this, I'm probably gonna use this one here. Yep. But also we have this. What do you call this? Actually, I'm trying to see if it's labeled right or left, but this is for the forearm rockets right here, and we're just gonna snap this off if we can. That's one of the things that a little bit not too fond of. You gotta remove a lot of panels, and it just mounts on top here. There we go. You got that rocket, and you do have a pair of that. Here's another one here, so you can do it in both hands. I'm trying to remember if the Hot Toys has that, or I think there was only one. On to the fun part. Alright, so let's turn this on, but again, we gotta swap out the hands. That way when it lights up, it's good to go. Alright, I'm gonna swap out with this. Here we go. Same thing with this one here. Yep. Really nice. Alright, so to turn on the LEDs, let's start with the arm since it's available here. There is a switch right here. The batteries are there. And there we go. Lights up. Same thing with the other side. Actually, let's put the cover back on. This is when it'd be nice if it's held by magnets. Alright, so there we go, turning it on. There we go. Now for the head, I'm not too fond of this, but we gotta pry that plate on top. And I always ding this up already. There is no easy way to open this up. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do it from the back side. Unless you guys know a better way to do this. There we go. There's a switch on top and turns on the light. There we go. I'm not gonna put this on because it's gonna be a problem to open up the lights again. Then on the foot, these are easy. The switches are right there. There we go. Nice and bright. And on the back side here, it's on this flap here, which is actually a little easy, but it gets stuck here on the hinge. There we go. And he's powered up. Let's see how good this bracket is. It's holding him up quite well so far. There we go. Maybe get him so this ratcheting thing here might have to bend the whole. There we go. That's gonna be an awkward position, but kind of see what I'm trying to do here. Getting to see all the LED effects. But yeah, there we go. It's quite nice. It's a nice showpiece. Although it's just troublesome to turn all the switches because some of them are hidden. Yeah, I kind of wish they put the switch on the head and like back of the neck or somewhere. Yeah. Likewise for the forearm. That's when you appreciate when there's magnets. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the LED gimmick. There are a little bit more. Actually, there's panels that can be removed. Let me just turn off the LED to conserve energy. Right, for the hidden panels, let's start with this one here. It is a little bit tricky to open them, and doing that the first time could be. So I went ahead and tried to figure it out already beforehand. So you're gonna pry it from here. There's little tabs on top. That is probably the best way to open this up. You kind of use this plastic tool here, and even then, may not be a good idea, but I would probably, this is a lot more pliable than metal. You don't want to use metal. You're gonna end up messing up the paint. But here we go. It is held by straight peg. That's one. We got here on the bicep. Similarly, if you open the first time, you may want to pry it on the side there, right here. And once you do that first time, it's a lot easier. Likewise, you can remove the armor on the shoulder, which mine's got loose already. You might want to hold this down. Again, do not yank on that spring. This is my problematic side. You don't want to, yeah. It'll be cool if we actually can remove the face, but there's none there. Nope. But on the back side, as we've seen already, we have this, which is troublesome to pull up. It gets stuck on that lever right there. And you got this part here with, I forgot what this little thing is. Is it a missile? I forgot from the movie. But it seems stuck there, it doesn't come out. There's a significant part on this, or maybe that's where Jarvis is. Yeah, but that's that. Right then, moving down, we have the legs here. Likewise, there's a little bit of panel there, or a little place where you can put your tool or your nails, and that reveals more of the inner works, which I like. The Hot Toys does not have this. Maybe a little bit. The chest area has that, but this one has a bit more. Although I can't remember if there was a deluxe version of the 43, which allows you to swap out the parts, which I just got the regular version. And there's also some more stuff on the back side here. This side here actually flips up, and you can just probably pry it from the underside. There we go. Same thing here. So that's really cool. I mean, aside from this moving parts here. So lots of interesting details there. The front side. Yeah. And the only thing that's missing is Tony Stark's face. Yeah, really cool. Even the flap here on the back side. Yeah, quite nice. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up the review for the King Arts 1/9 scale Iron Man Mark 43. And I'm also been adding the good and the bad on the comments below, but if you haven't noticed, that's something I'm going to be doing more often now as opposed to the scaling. It's just a lot easier for me. So basically, the good on this one, it's an awesome figure. Has a lot of die-cast pieces on it, kind of like the Hot Toys one. And the panels are removed before. They're all die-cast, which is great. You have the one from the shoulder, the biceps, the chest, the thigh, and the other panels, they're all die-cast. So roughly more than 60% are die-cast, which is great. And what set this apart from other figures I've seen so far with the Iron Man figure, it has LED on the feet, which is great, and there's a lot of removable panels. That's one. Comes with a light up base, and as well as 2 separate arms for the stand, which is great. Sometimes there's extendable one that you can adjust. Could be cumbersome. So this one having its own is great, and I like the arm base. It works quite well, and I like it when there's actually a little hidden storage there if you don't want to use that arm. So that's cool also. Alright, what else we can say about this? Yeah, overall, really nice. And it's that right scale in between a Hot Toys and a figure arts. And it's very manageable in terms of posing it. I like it for the size. Well, it's not going to be as posable as a figure arts since that is more lightweight. Again, with me and the diecast, I prefer less diecast for posing, but for the wow factor, obviously you want to have the diecast. But yeah, for the size, it's great. It's a big figure, bigger at the, what was that, 9-inch scale, around, well, 1/9. For some reason, it happens to be the same in inch. Yeah, really great. And yeah, and let's see what else I can say about this. Let's go with the bad. So for the bad, as I mentioned before, the main concern I have is the spring on the shoulder pad. If you don't yank on it, or do what I did, trying to see what's inside there, you're not gonna have a problem. For the most part, if you just twist this around, you know, like this, it's okay if this kind of just hits there. It's not gonna do much damage there. You're gonna have a bit of paint chipping, but you know, it's, which is the second thing I'm gonna talk about on the bad. But for the most part, you're not gonna have an issue on that spring. Yep. Again, if you yank on it, that's gonna be an issue. On the other part, the paint chipping, it's inherent. There's a lot of corners on here, especially the chest right there. When you move the joints, there's gonna be a little bit of extra, or just on the edge, and you're gonna rub it off, and there's gonna be small paint chipping, which cannot be helped. For me, it doesn't really bother me as much. It's gonna happen regardless for, you know, any die-cast figure, and it's really small. And I kind of wish it was slightly battle damage, kind of like the Hot Toys. That way it can be hidden. But regardless, it's great. Another thing that I didn't like is the switch placement. Specifically for the head, you have to open up the panel. I kind of wish they put it on the back side of the neck or somewhere else. But yeah, or maybe under the chin or something. Just hidden. But easily accessible, and plus that placement on there on the top when you put the batteries wasn't, yeah, just a little too tight. Anyways, that's pretty much it in terms of the bad, but overall I like it. But for the price, and considering should I go for this one or Hot Toys, that's gonna be your call. I would still go for a Hot Toy. It's something huge, something that when someone comes over, that's the thing. That's it's like your masterpiece or showcase piece. But nonetheless, if you have this also, and if you start collecting King Arts, which would be not a bad idea since they're starting up their lineup, it'll be a great set to have. Yeah. Anyways, that's about it for this review. Hope you get something out of this. If you have any question, I'll try my best to answer that for you. And there you go. Oh, before I forgot, someone will ask, would you compare this to Sentinel? Well, we have the Extremis armor here, and with its size, I think Sentinels are in that 1/7.5 scale. Somewhere in between this, the King Arts and the Figure Arts. It's really hard to say. Sentinels are a bit overpriced, to be honest, but I do like their aesthetics. I like their diecast count, which is a bit less since it makes the figure more posable, and their stylized design. So it's a really tough choice. It depends on what your preference is. But for me, if I'm paying $200, I'll probably, yeah, it's gonna be tough for me. I can go either way, actually. I can go either way. Anyways, that's about it for the review. Hope you guys like it. And that's about it. So until then, this is Meads. Thanks for watching.